How's it going, everybody? It's Preston here with Citizen Response. Today we got talking about the HOLOSUN 407K, why I think it is the best optic currently on the market for concealed carry pistols. It's got a lot of awesome, amazing features at an amazing price point. Some of the testing I've done with it. So sit back, relax, hope you enjoy the video, hope you learned something. All right, so what we got here, Glock 43X HOLOSUN 407K. Why did I choose this optic over the plethora of options on the market? Well, this is the only one that fit my criteria, guys. 507K did not meet my criteria. The battery life was too short. It would start flickering and dimming after about a month. You can go see my previous video on that if you want to. Guys, this is the sister optic to the 507K, the 407K. Exact same housing and durability that you get from the 507K, but with a 6 MOA dot. So the question is, why do I want the 6 MOA dot? Well, the 6 MOA dot, in my opinion, is superior for a multitude of reasons. The first of those being it's easier to pick up on presentation, guys. When you punch out to that full presentation, you get that dot dropping from 12 to 6. It's much easier to pick up a 6 MOA dot than it is a 2 MOA dot. And I don't like the 32 MOA circle because it takes up too much of the housing and it takes too much up of the target, and I like just using the 6 MOA dot. Another advantage with the 6 MOA dot is I don't have to crank it up as bright to be able to see it, guys. Here in this Texas sun, apologize for the wind, just got a little gust. Here in the Texas sun, it's really difficult to pick up those 1 and 2.5 MOA dots. Even if you crank them up to their max brightness setting, they're very pinpoint, guys. This optic is very, very usable in those outdoor conditions, and you want your optic to be able to be used whether it's super bright outside or it's dark inside. And this is a good, the 6 MOA dot's a good in between. It is a little bit on the bigger side, but no issues with accuracy. I can still hit, if the gun is capable of hitting 3x5 size targets at 25 yards. Am I capable of that? Not all the time. Many days, no. Another reason I like the 6 MOA dot, kicking off into the next segment, is battery life. The battery life on this is good. I've been using it since October 2021. It's currently February 2022. So 4 or 5 month mark, which passes with flying colors, guys. These are defensive tools. I think if you're running an optic on your gun, we should be changing these quarterly. But I want to push it to 6 months. I want to see if this thing can make it 6 months. That is 1 down from the max brightness setting, and it's locked there all the time with the auto adjust or the auto off feature on. Another thing I didn't mention about the 6 MOA dot that I really love is 2 things. I talked about picking up the dot. We'll also talk about dot tracking, guys. Dot tracking is a huge thing when you're shooting like a bill drill or something, or even tracking from one target to the next. Instead of focusing so much on the dot, right? People complain about window size. We're focusing on the target, right? And if with proper grip technique and proper grip mechanics, that dot will drop back into the same place every single time, regardless if it bumps out of the window. So I know a lot of people are going to be asking about window size, guys. It's not really a big deal to me. When I'm using my dot tracking, I'm focusing on the target, right? I'm picking up pinpointing and burning an image in there with my eyes, and the dot with proper mechanics drops right back to where I want it every single time. And with that 6 MOA dot, it's a little bit easier to track that than it is with the 2 MOA dot. Another amazing thing about this optic is the price point, guys. This optic, I got it at my local gun store with everything ready to go for $200 out the door. That's a phenomenal price point. And you would think, well, that must come with some drawbacks, right? It's Chinesium cheap, right? No, absolutely not. This optic is super tough, super durable. I've dropped it on all kinds of surfaces. I've accidentally dropped it on hard surfaces, concrete, tile. I can rack off of barricades. I can rack off my boot. I can rack off of trucks, no problem. With the proper mounting, right, you have to torque the screws, the proper poundage, and you have to put Loctite on there. That's caveat, that's super important. You do everything on your end right, and this optic will not fail you. This one's been amazing for me. Some people are gonna ask, can you still use your backup iron sights? Yes, you can. The backup irons do align through. They're very, very, very low at the bottom, and I have the iron sight in front on here. I don't even use it. I'm basically just lining up these 2 at the very back bottom of the optic, and it's still very usable, and I can still get good hits. All right, guys, the final thing that I think is so amazing about this optic is the side-loading battery tray. Like I said, these are electronic devices. They need to have good quality batteries in them, Duracell preferred, and we need to be changing them quarterly, right? Even if your optic can last a year, why would you not? If your life could depend on this, or your family or someone else's life could depend on this tool being ready to go, why not have it in tip-top condition? The batteries are cheap. Just replace them every few months, and being able to do that from a side-loading battery tray is huge. Not having to take the optic off, put a new battery in, put the optic back on, torque it back to spec, and then reconfirm your zero is a hassle. A lot of us don't have time to do that. And so it's just really nice that you can get a durable optic with a good reticle choice at a good price point with a side-loading battery tray. I think the only thing that's going to be able to top this is the new EPS carry that's coming out that's fully enclosed. But hey, we'll see. I'll hopefully get my hands on that and be able to do a review on that one in the future. But where we're at right now, guys, I think the HOLOSUN 407K is the best optic choice on the market for these slimline concealed carry pistols. If you disagree with me, let me know. Tell me in the comments if you've had success with something. But overall, I've recommended these to a lot of people. Everybody that I know that has gotten one absolutely loves it, and I've never seen any issues with these yet. I have seen them with other optics. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you learned something from it. If you're interested in the market for one of these, it gets my thumb of approval. But you know, at the end of my videos, I talk about my faith, right? Because if you're a Christian, you'll kind of understand why I'm doing this, right? We don't want to leave any bubble in our lives away from God, right? We want to give everything to Him because He's given us everything. He's given us everything we need to live a godly life. And I felt convicted to use this platform to be able to share the gospel. So kind of one thing, talk about a different topic for just a minute or two at the end of my videos is suffering, right? I think it's one of the biggest things that keeps people away from God, and it can also draw people to God, is suffering, right? When times are great, you know, we don't think about, you know, what is my purpose here? Why am I here? We're just living life and being married. But when those struggles come, when that sickness comes, when that family member dies, when the bills are piling up, right? Start to question, like, why am I here? What is my ultimate meaning? What's my ultimate purpose? Because we're all going to die someday, and every single one of us is going to be on our deathbed in one way or another. It's just going to be between us and the Creator, guys. So if you haven't, I would highly recommend reading the book of John. Just read about who Jesus was, why He came down, why it was necessary for Him to die on our behalf. And it will change your life. Guys, I was not always a Christian. I was wild in college, and I was empty. It was totally empty. And then I saw people living their life differently, and it intrigued me, right? And I came to faith a few years ago, and it's would never turn back, would never make a different decision to follow Christ. Guys, it's been amazing. So if you have any questions, hit me up, Citizen Response on Instagram, here for any questions you have. If you just want to talk, need someone to talk to, I'm your guy. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching the video. Get out there, train hard, stay safe.